and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms Demand Action, Gun Sense Legislation, Healthcare for All, Medicare for All, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms Demand Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee and Pan Dulce time, and it is June 3rd. We're in International Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride to everybody that participates and partakes, and bah humbug for the people who don't. And you should go. Everybody should go. No matter what. Tons of allies go. It's a good time. And most of them are usually free. But we do have a special guest, one of our recurring friends.
Welcome back.
For the last 6 years, Dr. B has been coming on. Typically, we're talking about something medical, considering the brilliance of Dr. B and all that his medical knowledge of having an esteemed career. Much smarter than Christian, or at least I'm going to say Dr. B's you got a higher intelligence than I do. I know that for sure.
And he's from Texas. How can that be?
Like, how could you not be that? So, we're going to talk about something Trump related, and some of the executive order he signed. And so, I'm going to have Christian take over from here.
Sure.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, thank you, Gersemi. As Gersemi said, welcome everyone. Welcome to all our audience members. Happy Pride, happy International Pride. For those who are celebrating Pride, we welcome you. We definitely do. We are a part of the resistance, the MAGA resistance. That's part of our podcast. So welcome everyone. We want to thank those who watch us on Facebook and YouTube and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. I'm back home in All Points, North Carolina. And Gersemi is on the road in an undisclosed location, but normally she's in West Hollywood on the West Coast. All things West. Plus, our wonderful special guest who has been a while since we had him on, Dr. B, Dr. Bohmfalk, who is now a resident of the great state of Colorado. Is that correct? So
yes, indeed, with all my aspen trees.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, welcome. So I'm sure you're enjoying the beautiful weather there.
Oh yeah.
The springs and so forth. So welcome everywhere. We are going to talk about. We're not going to do Barb's current events today. And also, just as a reminder, our 400th show is coming up in less than a month, and Barb Bacon, who is the namesake of our Barb's current events, is hopefully going to be returning on for that episode. We hope she's able to make it, and we can see how she's doing. I'm also going to ask her about Chicago, if she's been to Chicago lately, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. So let's jump directly into it. So President Taco signed an executive order in April, and if it were any other president, I'd be jubilant and thank goodness, he's doing a great thing. But because it's him, there's always something that's not right about it. So apparently what happened was, this is my understanding, if anybody knows a different story, what happened was Joe Rogan was at home in Austin or somewhere, was probably on some type of mind-altering thing, and was watching a show that was talking about how Europe was doing experiments with psychedelic drugs. Specifically, I think it was mushrooms. And they were talking about how this research is really helping people who suffer from PTSD, suffer from depression, suffer from a lot of things, general anxiety disorder, which
how about Trump derangement syndrome?
Yes, even Trump derangement syndrome. That's right. Yeah, that's even an official one. So apparently he had thought about it and said, we should be doing this. And so he texted Trump on his personal thing, and he texted him back and said, let's get this done. One day later, Trump sends his RFK Jr. The copy of the text. Can we talk about this? Let's get this done. 3 days later, they have a press conference that he is signing an executive order to, in all fairness, to lower the classification of marijuana or cannabis from Schedule 1 to now Schedule 3, which does a lot of really good things for people who sell cannabis and marijuana in states, because now they can do some taxes and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't make it legal nationally, but it allows it to have more research. Plus, included in that, included certain psychedelic drugs, which includes magic mushrooms. There's a medical term for it. MDMA, ecstasy. And then 2 other ones, which I'm not familiar with. Those are the only 2 that I know. Anyway, so it allows those to be fast track experiments with these and really lift the red tape for these. And so this has been applauded by, of course, it hasn't really been applauded by all of MAGA Nation. I think maybe the manosphere it's been applauded, but not like the evangelical Christians and things like that, because they believe this is terrible gateway to the devil. So anyway, so I want to get your take on that, Dr. B, also in Gersemi, because as someone who has family members who suffer from some of these ailments, but who have never considered having this kind of therapy because of the stigma attached to even marijuana, still is certain stigma to a lot of conservative families. Even though that's not with me. CBD drinks and oils are just wonderful things that allow me to sleep. But there's a lot of benefits from these kind of things. And so I want to hear what you have to say, Dr. B. We'll start with you, and then Gersemi kind of give us what you think on this executive order. The only pause I have about this is it was done because of a text from Joe Rogan. It wasn't done because of American Medical Association pushing him and having a meeting and him saying this would be a good thing because it's been medically researched, And so what are your thoughts about this?
I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, kind of find out what's going to be the downside. And in reading about it a little bit, as you say, it's not broad sweeping.
Sure.
It mainly involves medical marijuana, not recreational. So out here in Colorado, there's no real difference with the recreational marijuana folks, and that's created a bit of a conflict between those who deal in exclusively medical versus recreational, because now it's kind of like giving a leg up to the folks in the medical industry. So I don't know how it's all going to play out. I can imagine there's going to be suddenly a whole surge of folks going to get prescriptions for medical because they'll be able to get it more easily and possibly a little less expensively. On the expense side, there seems to be a glut of product from the markets, and prices are not as profitable for dealers as evidently they used to be.
Yeah.
But, I'm all for anything that's going to lower the stigma and open to more scientific research and just understanding of it. And certainly if any of these things are going to be better than the standard treatment so far for a bunch of these things like PTSD and severe depression and whatnot, bring it on. Time will tell if it's a lot of placebo or if it's a real thing, but early reports suggest that there is a lot of genuine medical benefit. So I'm all for that. And, who knows how it's all going to kind of turn out with respect to overall national legalization. It is ironic, isn't it, as is so much in our lives here lately, that it's these conservative Republican administration that suddenly is doing something that used to be 100% in the Democratic field. But hey, so, such as it is, and nothing like a text from somebody like Joe Rogan. Crazy.
Gersemi, you want to jump in?
Well, I don't know about all this hippie lettuce and funny mushrooms. I don't trust it. They're going to make us all communists and homosexuals by the time it's all done. But, there's been a lot of studies, and there's some states like California that have legalized, shrooms and marijuana. I mean, it's everywhere. It's I don't even know if there's a difference here.
Yeah.
It's just, they've pretty much realized that there's a lot of benefits, and I actually used somebody writing a master's thesis on the benefit of psychedelics and botanicals and PTSD, especially with veterans, that sort of thing, and how it relaxes the mind. And there's on the psychological side, there's a lot of benefit that also will manifest in the physical, of course. Even things like erectile dysfunction. A lot of the problems are not necessarily just physical, but they are mental as well. When you have like shell-shocked veterans, people that have survived sexual violence, so things like that, and it's one of the reasons many countries in Europe and in Asia have it legalized. It does have more upside than downside. Obviously, for the medical community to prescribe it, you need to have a better idea. Or hopefully, a better vetting and white papers and all that, because, obviously, but I have a feeling on the initial question, why Trump did this and why Joe Rogan's being attached to it, it smells like to me there is a investment scam coming up pretty soon, like Trump weed,
like a Trump RX, psychedelic,
or a Joe Rogan.
That might,
man slamming, mushroom brand or something. I feel
never thought about that. You're right.
There is, I've been following the scamtastic part of the MAGA Nation.
Yeah.
And every time they start promoting something, whether it is the school vouchers, there's always something in it for
always
them.
something. There's always something. You're right.
ABG, always be grifting. And so there is something afoot, that just doesn't quite smell right.
Sure.
And I do agree with the executive order, which I feel like I'm going to have to go in the next room and punch myself in the face for saying
That's the way I felt. Yeah.
It's anytime that I'm on the same page with Joe Rogan and Donald J. Trump is a double shower day.
Better look out.
But he was correct in signing that executive order and not completely decriminalizing it, but at least lowering it to open up the gateway for universities to even have it on the campus and allow a lot of things, federal grants, banking access. There's a lot of things by taking it off the Schedule 1 in the same way where cocaine and heroin's out, which literally those drugs have no upside to them. It was a huge decision made. That was probably one of the few good decisions this guy's ever made in his life.
It makes me,
but I do believe that there is a financial gain for those three yahoos, because RFK Jr. owns a lot of little potions companies and scams like Dr. Oz owns.
It's probably it's probably one of those like
those three have got a scam coming. Just you wait.
Yeah, so soon as they're gonna
mark the tape. Mark the tape, Christian.
All right, I'm gonna.
Gersemi saying there is a financial gain to this, which doesn't make it completely wrong.
Yeah,
but we're going to cringe later on when we find out what kind of multi-billion-dollar scam this is going to be. You just watch.
Well, listen,
maybe that's why Trump's been meeting with the president of Colombia lately.
Hey, good point. Good point. So I want to tell you about what you can currently buy in the state of Texas for at least another month. They just passed legislation to close the loophole for Delta 8 and Delta 9, I believe it's what it's called. Those are synthetic versions of the whatever the toxin is in marijuana. I don't know the term. The THC, I guess is what it's called. THC. And so, so there was a loophole in the federal law and the state law in Texas that allows them to sell these gummies that have CBD plus Delta 8 and Delta 9, which are two synthetically derived out of CBD, I believe, and or something like that. And it's even more hallucinogenic than marijuana. I don't know the terms, all that kind of stuff. So they're closing that loophole, which all that means is they're going to invent a Delta 10 and Delta 11 because they're creative. There's no way you can do that. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Plus, we'll also talk about if any benefits that anyone thinks from this. And yeah, it is kind of hard to admit that, but we'll be right back on Coffee Pan Dulce right after this.
Hey y'all, just a happy reminder from all of us at Coffee Pan Dulce. It's Happy Pride Month, Happy International Pride Month. And whomever you are, whether you're an ally or a member of the LGBT community, please celebrate and please show your pride, whether you're in or out of the closet. All lives are valid, and we appreciate y'all, and fly your flags and enjoy your month. Thanks for participating. See y'all
Happy
next
Pride.
week. Happy Pride. Hey y'all, thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am, and let's enjoy our summers. Hot girl summer. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye y'all. Hey y'all, thanks for watching, and support local Black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo's Bakery. It has some fabulous pastries, food, king cakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, tamales, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching.
Hi, this is Yorense Pascual Mateo. I am back. Spedicare is back in 2026, and yes, my hiatus was sad, and it was caused by a bunch of, butthurt losers. But I'm not gonna say that. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna say fuck fascism, and I'm gonna stand up against this shit. So please like, subscribe, enjoy my show, and let's fight against the bullshit that we continue to live with.
Hey y'all, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and your favorite audio podcast platforms. You can catch your special editions of Coffee Pan Dulce as always. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we're going to do more episodes. We're going to do some zany things in 2025. And most of all, we're going to have lots of fun as always. Thanks for listening. And look for the new shouts. Appreciate it. So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our He Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire. They used to be the state of Florida, and we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back, everyone. So in the state of Texas, I was at an event. As everyone knows, we were covering the Purple Party for other podcasts, Circuit Queen. And I went into this novelty store and to buy CBD gummy that doesn't have THC in it, just because here in North Carolina, you can just buy CBD. And just CBD itself, which is not really anything other than just the derivative from whatever that is, the hemp, I guess that's what it's called, makes me like, woo, woo, woo. So I can imagine what like THC would be for me. Well, apparently there's like Delta 8 or Delta 9, or I don't know, that there's little bit differences on what you want your mood to be in that. And just 1/4 of that was like, oh my God, this is crazy, whatever. So the guy was explaining to me, if you want just enjoyment, do Delta 8. If you want more of a hallucinogen type of like mushroom kind of feeling, which I don't really know what that is, then you want the Delta 9. Well, apparently there are these two things that they sell. So when I was looking at this, like magic mushrooms and ecstasy, I don't actually know what the difference is. I know one of them is like a psychedelic type of thing, and the other one is just more of like a high, I guess, type of thing. So I guess both of those, they do therapy. I know that about the ketamine therapy, which is now approved in many states, where you can do the medical dose of ketamine, and it really brings you into kind of a psychedelic kind of state that allows you to rewire your neurotransmitters. Am I saying that right, Dr. B? It's been a long time since I've been to brain psych.
You said it right, but I'm not sure that there's any truth to that notion.
Well,
but a lot of people talk about it.
Well, Elon Musk said so. That's why he's doing ketamine, is because it rewires the neurotransmitters and the neuroplasticity of your neurotransmitters. Apparently, it allows people who suffer from PTSD or from anxiety or from depression.
How about megalomania?
So I guess that's my point, is that why does it take I understand that there's a lot of pushback from the conservative side of the country, even from all ethnic groups, the more conservative, to not touch alcohol, not touch all of these mind altering, even though they've been around forever, for generations, centuries. But you have countries like Denmark and so forth that have different policies, and they see no increase in addictions. They see no increase in certain things that people do. I don't know if that's anecdotal or whatever, but I'm curious why we're so behind, besides us just being prudes, we're so behind the times and what could possibly help someone. Because what happens is they're going to self-medicate themselves through alcohol or through wine or through whatever, whatever it is, So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Dr. B, or if this is an area you want to jump into, being a former Texan, and, what the medical establishment has any thoughts about this.
Well, I think you pretty well hit it, that every group covers the spectrum, with conservative to more progressive. And like the organized medical groups, I mean, I was baffled 40 years ago when I went to a Texas Medical Association meeting and these others, and they're just dominated by these very conservative factions that still believe in corporal punishment for children and all sorts of stuff. And so, similarly, they hew to this line, whatever it is in the Bible about, don't desecrate your body, the holy temple, with anything. And so that covers the spectrum, right? It's supposed to be everything. Although Jesus made wine, right? Yeah. So, I think it's that,
do you see how it could benefit people? I mean, I would imagine, yeah.
And the American Medical Association is moving maybe towards the center on several issues, including things like a national health care plan, kind of Medicare law. They're beginning to, a few of them kind of discuss it openly now, whereas before that was just absolutely taboo. So I think similarly, there's enough that open their minds to something like this that it might have ever been, that eventually we probably will outpace us on, and we're kind of last to the table. That old Churchill line about America always does the right thing after it tries everything else first. So it'll probably follow on this as well. I don't know. I mean, marijuana still, there's a minority of the states that it's legal and recreational, and so it's not like we kind of jumped on the bandwagon about that, even though there doesn't seem to be much documented harm in it.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I
no,
mean,
Well,
it's going to plod along. I don't
yeah,
think anything dramatic's going to happen.
yeah, Gersemi.
a couple of things I want to clarify. So, there is THC in Delta 8, 9, and 10.
Oh, well,
Um,
thank goodness we don't test here at Cannis Media. So,
but it's different than what comes off a plant.
okay,
Obviously it's
yeah,
botanical still, but if it's cooked into a gummy or a drink,
yeah,
like they have those weed drinks, that sort of
yeah,
thing.
that's
They also, different states have different allowances on the percentage. Like alcohol has a percentage. With
sure.
THC drinks, for example, you get a drink that has 2%. You can get
Yeah,
one that has 40%.
yeah,
And one will make you high all day, and one will,
yeah,
maybe lower down, and make you a little chill for like an hour or so.
sure.
It depends on the content.
Yeah,
The THC is fat soluble. So I looked up another question about testing and that sort of thing,
yeah,
drug testing. And it also stated that because all THC is fat soluble,
hmm
it could show up days and even weeks after that. So it's basically chemically pretty close to the plant grown straight,
okay,
the
yeah,
smoking in a doobie sort of thing,
yeah,
and inhaling it. Another really important point is, to me, what has always held this back has not been conservative evangelicals or some kind of moral compass or anything like this. Is to me, it's always the money. I think
mm,
the same way with the medical industry. They sometimes put patient care on the back burner over how do they make money, how do they profit from that, because hospitals now are
that
predominantly for profit
that
entities.
that's an
And that's been a
yeah,
big debate in the medical, as Dr. B
yeah,
can attest to this, is how do you balance the business side of the medical industry?
hmm
So when something is going to go from being an illegal substance to be considering medical friendly or even used
hmm
in medical practices, how does that affect the pharmaceutical industry, which is
yeah.
a big driver of research, a big driver of a lot of things?
Well, that's
Is,
an
do
excellent.
you bite the
That's
hand that feeds
yeah.
you?
No, that's an excellent point, Gersemi, because that I actually did think about that. Not only was I surprised that the evangelical Christians in Trump's camp didn't speak out against this or have not spoke out against this. They probably don't be. They don't want to be under his wrath right now. But I've also was surprised that I have not and yet heard pushback from big pharma. How dare you try this when you can take the Xanax? How dare you try this when you
But I
can
think you
take,
answered your own
yeah,
question. Why did he
yeah,
wait till now?
yeah.
I think it was more than just one phone call from uh, Joe
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan. Okay.
I believe that RFK Jr. has got a vested interest in this.
hmm
Probably Joe
Oh,
Rogan too.
okay. hmm
Is just like with everything with Trump, it's all smoke and mirrors,
Sure.
and it's probably a way of soft selling
Sure.
people on this, that would be opposed to this
Yeah.
normally. Is that if the orange Buddha is saying
hmm
this, their cult leader, that
I,
obviously it must be
mhm.
okay. But I also think too, they had to have some preliminary ways of monetizing this. I think that there
Yeah.
had to be a deferment to what the medical establishment, i.e., the pharmaceutical
hmm
lobbyists, got to say. Well, we don't want this cutting into our bill because there's already drugs that can help people with
Sure.
bipolar
With
disorder and
this.
PTSD and all
Yeah.
this. How does this affect our bottom line? Because are you going to flood the market with all these much cheaper botanical
hmm
alternatives
People won't need
that
mine.
may or
Yeah.
may not help people? But if they do help people, how much of our market share that we're currently making money off? It's
hmm
we just watched a movie last night on TV on streaming. It was a silly movie. It was an actual comedy, but the serious part of it was that Adam Sandler's character was dying of cancer,
hmm
and he was tracking down what happened to this doctor that invented basically a cure to a specific kind of cancer. that he'd been seeing, and the major pharmaceutical company sent in assassins and killed the doctor and his business partner.
Oh,
And but it was an Adam Sandler movie. It was really funny and super silly.
Well,
in reality is, if you cure cancer, for example, these companies that make all those other treatments that don't necessarily cure it but slow it down, who loses in that deal? They might lose $10 billion over a $100 million fix.
That's an excellent point. But it sounds kind of like a conspiracy than a point. But
I'm gonna pull out my little tinfoil hat. But I mean, I do believe a lot of the pushback against marijuana and a lot of the botanical or plant-based alternatives to a lot of these things. And I think one of the many reasons why marijuana ever got put on the Schedule 1 list 100 years ago was because other powers that be saw that cutting, like the alcohol industry. The alcohol had just gotten legalized again after prohibition, and they had to push a competitor out.
So this, when this executive order occurred, I was this close from, because I have a personal Facebook page and a political or a non personal page that I've tried to separate now, just to promote unity and happiness and kumbaya within all of our families and so forth. And so I was this close from posting. Very rarely do I say thank you to the President of the United States. This is one of the few, but I stopped. And the reason I stopped was because, as you said, Gersemi, there's always some kind of con going on here. There's always something, and nothing ever ages well with Trump. And so I thought to myself, we could have had an opportunity when Trump was a Democrat to smooth him like they do now. And we could have turned him into one of the biggest allies for the LGBT marginalized Black and brown community ever if we had just smoothed him and made him feel so superior like his base does right now. Now, we would have lost our souls doing that, but we could accomplish things by pandering to him and getting things passed just to say, okay, you can make a little money on this, and we're going to support you as Democrats if you support Medicare for all. And this is how you can make money. Why don't you go ahead and buy some interest in this company, and we will give the contracts to this person. That's how he operates. I don't know, Dr. B, have you ever thought about joining the manipulation camp of the Orange Baboon as Gersemi, so we can actually get some things done on our side?
It's funny. A few years ago, while Trump was not in, and I can't remember if this is before his first term or between them, we in the Medicare for All movement were kind of thinking we need a national household name spokesman, kind of take this up like Oprah or somebody like that.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're groups of us around the country are casting about names, and I thought of Oz because here's this guy who everybody knows from being on Oprah all the time.
Yeah.
So he's got credibility. So if we could get Oz, and somebody pointed out to me, do you know what kind of a charlatan he is after he's doing heart surgery? And I wasn't aware. I thought he was still this esteemed surgeon. But, he's selling all the supplements and all that kind of crap. So, he totally discredited. But so like you say, there's always a catch. And I think there's always been a catch with Trump. And since 30 years ago when he did the Art of the Deal, he's been a charlatan all along. It just took him being president for more people to kind of realize how deplorable he is overall. I'm glad we didn't get in bed with him.
So Gersemi, real quickly before we take our last break, and then we're going to end the show. What are your thoughts? Do you think there's time to still win him over and make him part of our team? I mean, is that even something does that disgust you, or what does that look like to you?
Make sure you edit this out of the show. I love you like a brother. I wouldn't want that guy standing next to me. Or a small shoulder. Ever. I'm not religious type person.
Sure. Yeah.
But this guy is a criminal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a convicted felon for a reason. And the Democrats have a tough time building their brand just with the stupid stuff they do. Yeah. And I'm a Democrat, registered Democrat. Vote that way. I'm going to vote that way probably the rest of my life. But I'm going to say here now, recruiting a scumbag like that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about MTG. I'm talking about all the scumbag. Anything with any attachment to MAGA whatsoever should be a no-go.
Sure.
We're not desperate.
I get that, but I get that. But you know me, I'm always trying to find a little bit of good in people, and it's hard to find a little bit of good in someone who's so bad. And I continue to try. I mean, I kept thinking, God, he could do so good the last 2.5 years of his life if he just became a decent person.
But this guy's been a scumbag his whole life. His whole business career, he's been a scumbag. His dad was a scumbag.
But what would Jesus do?
We're not talking about somebody. When we talked about cultural norms in the Two Queer Show, and the difference between the Hispanic community and the Black community, and some other challenges and barriers, and when we're talking about public assistance, for example, is how it becomes a Black thing, and then white people say we don't want those benefits anymore.
And the Hispanic community says,
Black
we don't
ghetto
want it anymore.
people. Yeah, if it's presented as something that white people support, they support it. But the moment they think the Black community specifically benefits from it, it's a no-go. I.e., I'll bring this back to Trump in general. The reason nobody can trust him is because he's never done anything trustworthy in good faith in his life. So when you continue to prove that theory right, whether I don't care what it is, I mean we can go to all the criminal things he's done, to deals, to whatever from 50 years ago to now. When he does eventually pass away, they're going to have to screw him in the ground. He's so crooked. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, all right.
But the guy, just like in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader had to go. He didn't make it.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, there's a new Star Wars that comes out here in just a couple. If you've watched this already, it'll come out. All right. So listen, we're going to take our last commercial. If you like what you hear from Gersemi, she does have a show that comes on every Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. Also, don't forget to join Gersemi on his show called Espedake that comes out every other Thursday, bi-weekly at 7:30 in the evening. The Tony Foreman Show is on hiatus, but it returns this summer. He has a lot of episodes you can watch. And Circuit Queen, the newest Cannis Media podcast is out. So please watch the first episode that talked about the Purple Foundation's party in Dallas, Texas. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this. Hey everyone, we just want to wish you a happy Pride. June is International Pride Month and we're celebrating it all month long. Also, we do want to thank those who watch us on Facebook and YouTube and the people who now listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. We want to thank you. Don't forget that our summer schedule is out, so we have our topics that we'll be covering in July and also in August. And just want to say happy Pride. I'll dance out. Happy Pride, everyone.
Hey, thanks for listening to us as always on Coffee and Pan Dulce. And just to let you know, we're on all the audio podcast platforms. So working out or whatever, you can just listen to us. Or if you want to see our bright, shiny faces, we're on YouTube and Facebook. You can even be fans and you can comment on our shows on the Facebook platform and drown out people who don't actually listen to the show but like to fun us. But anyway, we appreciate y'all and very much, and keep on listening so that Christian and I are just not sitting here talking to ourselves. Have a great year.
Thank you everybody for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Jenny and Chris had an amazing talk right there, and this is Yorense from Espedake. Our show is on Thursdays, 7 p.m. on every podcast places where you get podcasts. Podcasts, brain fart. But if you want to listen to me doing brain farts and having hot takes and leftist takes and just screaming at the shitty burning world we are living in, come over to Respeto. You're gonna have a fun time.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
You sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying to. All I have to say is go. Yes.
As a non-Spanish speaker.
Sure. All right, let's talk about his Jesus Jesus meme. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah. That'll be the show. All right, here we go. Okay, so we'll just take this last commercial and then we'll come back. All right, here we go.
And this is the Jenny Award.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Hey y'all, it's International Pride Month, and I want to wish everybody, our fellow queer neighbors and our allies, a happy Pride Month. Spend money in Target and your local queer Black and brown businesses as well. But happy Pride. Thanks for watching this show, and be safe out there.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, man. Hey, y'all. Thanks, as always, for listening to Coffee and Pan Dulce. And guess what? As part of our Cannis Media family of shows, we have a sister show that's been running alongside the Coffee Show for 6 years, 6 seasons. And it's Two Queers in a Truck. And in fact, we've been on air, as it says right behind Christian, as we record this, in case you're watching the video version of this. It's exciting. It's a little different. It comes more from, obviously, the queer perspective, because it's Two Queers in a Truck. And we invite you to listen to it. You don't have to be queer to listen. And I promise it most likely will not give you scabies. I can't 100% verify that. But it's just a medical rumor started by me, actually. But anyway, come out and check us out on our sister show, Two Queers in a Truck, and all the exciting 2025 news shows on the Cannis Media family. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join those shows and all the shows, and Happy Pride Month. All right, so we talked about this on your show, Gersemi. We also talked about it on the last episode of Coffee and Pan Dulce. It seems like, and we've talked about this, Trump has done this executive order. It was pushed by Joe Rogan. People are assuming it's because he was trying to win the manosphere back over the young men, the young white men, and so forth, which hasn't happened, but he's trying to win over. What happens if the only people that start to participate in these programs are Black and brown people? Will it suddenly become a drug epidemic? I mean, do you think that just like public education, just like the post office, just like, Medicaid, would it suddenly become, we got to stop this program? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Real quickly.
Sure.
Probably be pretty accurate.
Okay.
As long as they make a shit ton of money off of us.
Okay.
Skin color will never be mentioned.
If
it bombs out,
and
backfires, and specifically if the three-headed monster don't make money off this, then it's going to be the worst thing, and they're going to manufacture, it's making black people more violent or whatever.
Yeah.
They're going to get the reefer and mushroom fever, and hey, we were right the whole time, and that's really what's going to start it. If this is profitable, and all the power brokers and oligarchs in this country get their proper cut,
okay,
and they grease the wheel properly, this will be the forever thing. It'll get more expanded. They don't care. Look at the opioid programs that they had in the early 2000s.
Sure. Okay. So, Dr. B, what are your thoughts? Do you think this is going to work well or do you think that's even I don't know. That's a loaded question.
Who knows? I think there's so many variables it's going to be hard to kind of track. But on this thing about Trump, the one thing that seems to be consistent is his loyalty is very limited. And so you can't get into bed with him and count on a long-term thing.
Yes.
Having said that, I have said to some people's heart that if he would lead us to some sort of Medicare for all program with guardrails that it would really kind of work, I would be perfectly happy to call it Trump care, just like everybody calls it Obamacare. I don't give a shit what you call it.
Yeah, as long as it's
So I would hate that, but if he would do that out of ego, and he could, and nobody would ever again think about Obamacare, which is what he wants. But
he did say
he's too stupid to do it.
He had a concept of a plan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he had a concept. Well, just give Don Jr. and Eric a couple more months to somehow find a way to make money off of it, and he'll start promoting it. So that's kind of all right. That was kind of a joke. All right. Well, once again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Dr. B, for coming back. It was so great to see you. You have not changed at all. You look. I don't know what you're doing. Are you doing?
It's still my great in-house barber.
Excellent job. Excellent job. We want to wish once again everyone a happy International Pride Month. Don't forget to watch our Pride episode that has, we'll find out because it hasn't been recorded yet, but you would have watched it by now. It has the top American City Pride organizers, the top 10 American City Pride organizers from around the country, including Los Angeles. And we're also going to try to include WeHo. I don't know how to pronounce it. WeHo, right? Is that right? WeHo? Am I saying? WeHo, all right. WeHo. And the only thing that I was a little bit disappointed in, even though they're not a top American city, is Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida is a top 20 American city. And we were going to invite Tampa, Florida, but they canceled their Pride this year due to budget constraints. And what do we call them? Governor Sissy Boots? Governor Sissy Boots is doing all these anti things there. So anyway, all right, but they're going to have their Pride next year. So with that said, any last comments before we end the show? I know we've gone over just a little bit, so okay. All right, we'll see you later. Bye, y'all. See you next week.
Y'all. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Coffee Pan Dulce and our special guest, Dr. B. Wonderful treat as always.
Welcome back.
In on the medical ramifications of the recent executive order, and we're in June. So on top of that, we got Dr. B back on the show, and it's Pride Month. So what could be better than that? It's like a daily double at the horse track.
That's right.
Anyway, be safe out there. Drink lots of water. Wear your sunscreen. It is summertime, and in many places it's already ultra hot by now. So we appreciate you as always, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
What do you say? Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer.
Bye.
Hi everybody, this is Yorense from the LatinXPodcast show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA, go to your nearest homeless shelter, go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is 1, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. 2, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And 3, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normandy, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from Espera Que, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And one of our big things is that if you missed any of our other shows, we are on Facebook, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple for the most part, and a bunch of other audio podcast platforms. So if you've missed us, come back. The water's fine. Tip on in. It's 85 degrees here in my imagination. But anyway, we have 332 episodes in the tank. You can pull up any of them. And most of all, we have fresh ones dropping most weeks. And we got 3 more shows coming. Be excited. But as always, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And look forward to the 2025 season. Thanks, y'all.
Hi, y'all.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee Pan Dulce. Next up is 2 Queers and a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds
You
great.
sounded like a telenova. I mean,
That's what I'm trying to. All I have to say is go. Yes.
as a non-Spanish speaker.
June 3rd. All right. When we come back, y'all, I just want to kind of talk about if this was such a great, why couldn't he done this a year ago? You know, why does it take so long to come up with these benefits, you know, for the American people? You know, anyway, all right. We'll see if we can turn that into an episode. All right. We've run over. We're going to just quickly talk about what happens if Black and brown people start buying these things. Will they be against it? So, all right. Here we go. All right.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.